Hey there, welcome back. If you've ever looked at your houseplants and thought, man, watering you is such a full-time job, hydroponics might just be your new best friend. No messy soil, no guessing games, just plants thriving in water like it's a spa day. Today, we're diving into 15 of the best houseplants you can grow hydroponically, and honestly, some of these might surprise you. From classics you've probably seen at grandma's place to showstoppers that belong on Instagram, they all grow beautifully without dirt. I'll walk you through how to keep them happy, what they actually need, and toss in some fun facts along the way. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk plants, hydro style. First up is the peace lily, and let me tell you, this plant was practically made for hydroponics. It's one of the few houseplants that doesn't just tolerate growing in water, it actually thrives in it. Peace lilies are famous for their ability to clean the air, and NASA even put them on their list of top air-purifying plants, which makes them a solid choice for indoor spaces. When you grow them hydroponically, you'll notice how the roots stay cleaner and healthier, and the plant ends up lasting longer compared to being in soil where it can get root rot. All you really need is a clear container with fresh water, swap it out every couple of weeks, and you'll get those deep green leaves and the occasional white bloom. They're also super forgiving if you forget about them for a bit, which makes them perfect for beginners who want that lush, tropical vibe without the headache. Now let's talk about the Fiddle Leaf Fig, the big leaf beauty that basically took over Instagram a few years back. Most people struggle with these in soil because they're picky about watering, but hydroponics actually takes away half the drama. By keeping the roots in water, you eliminate those sudden moisture swings that cause the dreaded brown spots and leaf drop. Studies show that hydroponic systems can boost growth rates by up to 30%, and you'll definitely see that with a fiddle leaf. It grows taller, steadier, and with fewer tantrums. Just give it bright, indirect light and change the water every week or two, and it'll reward you with those glossy violin-shaped leaves that make any corner look like a magazine spread. If you've ever killed one in soil, this is your second chance to get it right, and honestly, it's way easier than you'd expect. Next up is the spider plant, and honestly, this little guy is a hydroponic superstar. It's one of the easiest houseplants to adapt to water because those long, curly leaves and baby offshoots don't mind living without soil at all. In fact, when you grow spider plants hydroponically, you'll notice the pups, or plantlets, sprout even faster since the roots have constant access to moisture. They've been proven in studies to remove indoor toxins like carbon monoxide and formaldehyde, making them not just decorative but also practical for cleaner air. All you need is a jar or vase where the roots can spread out, and just swap in fresh water regularly to keep things balanced. With minimal effort, you get a plant that keeps multiplying, almost like it's giving you free decor for the rest of your house. If you've got kids or pets, they're safe too, which makes this one an all-around winner for hydroponic growing. Now we've got the ZZ plant, and if there were ever a houseplant that laughs in the face of neglect, it's this one. Normally, ZZs are grown in soil because they can handle weeks without water, but in hydroponics, they actually thrive with steady moisture at the roots. The cool part is those thick, potato-like rhizomes. They store energy and nutrients, so even if you forget to change the water for a bit, the plant keeps pushing out shiny new leaves. NASA research even points out that ZZ plants are champs at removing toxins like xylene and toluene from indoor air, so it's not just pretty, it's functional too. All it needs is low to medium light, a container of clean water, and a refresh every couple of weeks. You'll get that deep, glossy foliage that looks like it belongs in a high-end office lobby, but with way less maintenance than people think. Honestly, this is one of the best, set it and forget it, hydroponic plants you can own. Let's move on to the rubber plant, a classic with those thick, leathery leaves that instantly give your space a bold, tropical vibe. In hydroponics, rubber plants adapt surprisingly well because their roots appreciate the consistent moisture without the risk of soil-borne pests or rot. They're natural air filters too. Studies have shown they help remove toxins like formaldehyde from indoor air, making them not just pretty but practical. If you give them bright, indirect light and swap out the water every week or so, they'll reward you with steady growth and lush, glossy foliage. One fun fact: in their native regions, the sap from rubber plants was once used as a source of natural rubber. These guys can also reach impressive heights indoors, sometimes over 8 feet. So if you want a statement hydroponic plant that's both hardy and dramatic, the rubber plant checks all the boxes. Now let's talk about Anthurium, the plant that looks like it showed up to your living room wearing a red tuxedo. Those glossy, heart-shaped leaves and bright red spathes make it a real showstopper, and the good news is, it does just fine in hydroponics. In fact, growing Anthurium in water helps prevent the soil issues that usually lead to root rot, which is one of the biggest killers of this plant. Studies show Anthuriums can last longer and bloom more consistently when their roots are kept clean and oxygenated. All it takes is a clear vase or jar with fresh water, a rinse every couple of weeks, and plenty of bright, indirect light. You'll not only get those signature red blooms, which can last up to 8 weeks at a time, but also lush green foliage year-round. If you're after a hydroponic plant that's equal parts exotic and low maintenance, Anthurium is a winner. Bromeliads are up next, and these plants bring a splash of the tropics right into your home with their bold colors and funky rosette shape. They're naturally adapted to grow without much soil in the wild, often clinging to trees and collecting water in their central cup, which makes them a perfect candidate for hydroponics. In water, they stay healthier because you're mimicking that same natural setup, steady hydration without soggy soil. Bromeliads are also known for their long-lasting blooms, which can stick around for 3 to 6 months, adding a serious pop of color to any space. Just keep the container water clean, give them bright, indirect light, and you'll be surprised at how low maintenance they really are. Fun fact: some species of bromeliads were studied by NASA for their ability to remove air pollutants, so they're not only eye-catching but also useful for cleaner indoor air. Alocasia, often called elephant ear, is one of those plants that instantly grabs attention with its huge, dramatic leaves that look like something out of a jungle scene. While they can be a bit fussy in soil, hydroponics actually makes life easier because the roots get constant moisture without sitting in soggy dirt. These plants love humidity and bright, indirect light, so pairing them with a hydro setup gives them that steady environment they crave. Some Alocasia varieties can grow leaves over 2 feet long, making them perfect if you want a bold, architectural statement in your home. Just change the water every week or two and keep an eye on the roots, and you'll see steady, healthy growth. Fun fact: Alocasia species have been grown for centuries in parts of Asia for their starchy underground stems, but indoors they're all about those dramatic leaves that make your space feel like a rainforest. Alocasia Melo is one of the rarer gems in the Alocasia family, and it's instantly recognizable for its thick, almost leathery leaves with deep, textured veins that look like something carved out of stone. Unlike the larger elephant ear types, Melo stays more compact, which makes it a perfect hydroponic choice for tabletops or smaller spaces. Growing it in water helps reduce the risk of root rot, which is the #1 issue people face with this plant in soil. It thrives in bright, indirect light and does best when you keep the water fresh every week or so, allowing those chunky roots to stay clean and healthy. What makes it fascinating is how prehistoric it looks. Botanists often say it resembles plants that existed millions of years ago, and it really does bring a unique, almost otherworldly vibe to your indoor setup. If you want a hydroponic plant that feels rare and high-end without being overly demanding, Alocasia Melo fits the bill. The Boston Fern is a true classic, and in hydroponics it shows off just how lush and full it can get. With those arching fronds and feathery leaves, it's like instant greenery that softens up any room. Normally, ferns can be tricky in soil because they need constant moisture, but that's exactly why hydroponics suits them so well. The roots never dry out, and you don't have to deal with the guesswork of watering schedules. Studies have even highlighted ferns as some of the best plants for improving indoor air quality, removing toxins like formaldehyde and xylene from the air. Give them medium to bright, indirect light and refresh the water every week or so, and they'll keep throwing out new fronds like crazy. One fun detail: Boston ferns have been popular since the Victorian era, and they're still one of the most reliable choices if you want that soft, elegant, old-world charm in your hydroponic collection. Aloe Vera is more than just a handy plant for sunburns, it's also a surprisingly good fit for hydroponics. Most people think of it as a desert plant that only belongs in dry soil, but when grown in water with the right setup, it actually develops stronger, cleaner roots and stays healthier long-term. Aloe leaves are packed with a gel that's about 99% water, which explains why the plant responds so well to a consistent moisture source. Studies even show aloe vera can improve indoor air by removing pollutants like formaldehyde and benzene, so it's doing more than just looking good on your windowsill. To keep it happy, place it in bright, indirect sunlight and change the water every couple of weeks, no special tricks required. The bonus? You'll always have fresh aloe gel on hand, whether it's for skincare, soothing burns, or even as a natural hair treatment. It's basically a mini medicine cabinet growing right in your hydro setup. Algerian Ivy is one of those plants that doesn't just grow, it takes off, and hydroponics only makes it easier to manage. With its large, glossy, lobed leaves and quick trailing habit, it can cover a jar or vase in no time, giving you that lush, cascading look without the hassle of soil. This ivy is tougher than its English cousin, handling lower light and drier air a bit better, which makes it more forgiving indoors. In hydro, the roots stay consistently hydrated, which means you'll see stronger, faster growth and fewer of the crispy leaf edges people often struggle with in pots. Just keep the water fresh every week or two and give it medium light for best results. Fun fact: Algerian ivy has been studied for its ability to trap airborne particles, making it not just decorative but also useful for improving air quality in your home. If you want a hydroponic plant that grows quickly and looks elegant while doing it, this one's a solid choice. Pilea, often called the Chinese money plant or pancake plant, is a fan favorite for its round, coin-shaped leaves that look like little green discs floating on stems. It's already one of the easiest houseplants to care for, and in hydroponics, it gets even simpler. Instead of worrying about soil drying out too fast or getting too soggy, the roots stay perfectly balanced in water, which keeps the plant pushing out those adorable pups that you can replant or share with friends. Pileas love bright, indirect light, and if you change the water regularly, they'll grow fast and stay bushy. Fun fact: in feng shui, this plant is considered a symbol of prosperity and good fortune, which explains why it's so popular as a gift. So if you want a hydroponic plant that's low maintenance, stylish, and basically pays you back with endless baby plants, Pilea is the way to go. Watermelon Peperomia is one of those plants that instantly makes people stop and stare. The leaves look just like the rind of a watermelon with their silver and green stripes. In hydroponics, this plant does surprisingly well because its roots don't like to sit in soggy soil, and water culture takes that problem away. You'll notice the foliage stays crisper and healthier when the roots have a steady, clean water source. They stay compact too, usually topping out around 8 to 12 inches, which makes them perfect for desks, shelves, or small spaces. Give them bright, indirect light and refresh the water every week or two, and they'll reward you with those eye-catching leaves. Fun fact: even though it looks exotic, watermelon peperomia is actually native to South America and has been a favorite indoor plant since the 1930s. If you want a hydroponic houseplant that's equal parts quirky and elegant, this little guy is hard to beat. Rounding out the list is English ivy, a classic trailing plant that's been used for centuries to add greenery indoors and out. In hydroponics, it adapts really well because the roots appreciate steady moisture without the risk of compacted soil. You'll see it send out long, elegant vines quickly, and with just a little trimming, you can shape it into a cascading display or even train it up a trellis indoors. English ivy has also been studied for its ability to reduce airborne mold spores and pollutants, making it a functional choice for cleaner indoor air. Keep it in medium to bright, indirect light, change the water every week or two, and you'll have a hardy, fast-growing plant that keeps its deep green leaves year-round. Fun fact: English ivy was once planted in old European homes to help regulate humidity levels, so it's a plant with both history and practicality behind it. In hydroponics, it's an easy way to get that timeless, elegant vibe without much fuss. And there you have it, 15 of the best houseplants you can grow hydroponically, each one bringing its own charm and benefits without the mess of soil. Whether you're after cleaner air, bold greenery, or just an easier way to keep your plants alive, there's something on this list for everyone. Hydroponics really takes the guesswork out of plant care and lets you enjoy the fun part, watching them thrive. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more plant tips, and drop a comment telling me which hydro plant you're excited to try first. Until next time, keep growing and keep it green.